6:30 having arrived, I'll officially call the meeting to order. Has the meeting been properly posted and the roll been taken?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 2 is pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3, our approval of the minutes. 3.1, our approval of the minutes from the May 21st and June 5th meeting, city council. If there's no additions or corrections, I'd go ahead and entertain a motion to approve May 21st and June 5th meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the minutes of May 21st and June 5th, 2024.
So moved, or second, sorry.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 4, our communications. I don't believe we have any communications at this time. Item number 5, our public comments. Citizens at this time, portion of the meeting may address the chair. I just would ask that you limit your comments to those issues that are on the agenda this evening for no more than 3 minutes. Is there anyone that wishes to make public comments at this time? All I would ask is you state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. My name is Rick Zirk, Z-I-R-K, with Fairwind Development. Our office is located at 875 Town Line Road, Unit 103 in Lake Geneva. We have 2 items on the agenda this evening. Item 7.5 and item 10.2. We request that item 10.2, the consideration of development agreement, be tabled to the next meeting, so we have a little time to work through a few questions with staff. Then on item 7.5, the only thing we'd like to restate, we said it earlier, means is there's a condition that is on the list of conditions, again, that I think is a holdover. It's one that refers to inspections twice a year for structures. All of the structures in our phase 3 are residential structures. We understood at a previous meeting that this was intended to be applied to the clubhouse, the marina, and other commercial structures, but not the residential structures. So we just want to make clear that we're looking not to have our residents in the neighborhood be imposed with fire inspections twice a year. So that was the only comment we had on that section 7.5. But we will, Brian and I are here, Dave Sakaris from the resorts here. If you have any questions during the presentation, we're ready to either sit quietly or we're able to give a full presentation, whichever you're looking for.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a quick question.
We'll wait until it's on the agenda later.
Okay.
So,
But I was
okay.
7.2 and 7.5, or just
7.5.
7.5 and
I
10.2.
thought you said 7.2.
I might have, but I meant 10.2 if I said so.
Okay.
Would be wrong. It would be in the comment version.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I thought you were gonna ask. That works. All right. Item number 6, our reports of committees, boards, and commissions. Item 6.1 is the Finance Committee and Financial Report. Alderwoman Megan Armstrong Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Finance Committee met prior to this meeting. A number of items from that meeting are on tonight's agenda. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, July 9th at 5 p.m. And with that, I motion to approve the financial report.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 6.2, General Operations, Alderman Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. General Operations met on Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. We welcomed our newest member, Tom Bertrand. The police report indicated another busy month. MedEx activity report indicated nice response times. The building and zoning administrator's report showed 9 more single-family home permits, bringing this year's total to 16 new single-family homes, and the remainder will appear under the business section of this meeting. The next GOC will be Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024.
Thank you, Alderman Wilson. Item 6.3, issues that came before the Planning Commission. Alderman Beezer will normally give that update on with us, or is he online? I don't know if he can do it. Is he online on Zoom? Okay, I think he's in. town myself. But with that, I know the planning commission met on June 3rd, and there are a number of items on tonight's agenda for this evening, and the next meeting is scheduled for Monday, June 1st at 5 p.m. right here at City Hall. With that, we'll move on to item 6.4, which is Public Works. That would be Alderman Beazer as well. I don't know if anyone wants to, from that committee wants to give an update. And, otherwise, otherwise we could just read off what I just did under the previous one, which is that Public Works had met on May 20th.
I think a 2-week delay on, Lake Comus Bridge due to AT&T put some wires in. The next Public Works will be Tuesday, June 25th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderman Wilson. Item 6.5 is Town of Delavan Lake Committee. That also would be Alderman Beazer, so we'll have an update next month in more detail. I'm sure their next meeting, that they did meet on June 5th. The next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, July 10th at 6 p.m. To the Delavan Town Hall. With that, we'll move on to item 6.7, or I'm sorry, 6.6, Library Board of Trustees. Alderwoman Karen Sun.
Thank you, Mayor. The Library Board of Trustees has not met since the last council meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled for this Thursday, June 20th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Sun. Item 6.7 is the Parks and Recreation Commission. Alderwoman Megan Armstrong Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We met for a special meeting on May 29th. An item from that meeting is on tonight's agenda. The next meeting is scheduled for Monday, June 24th at 5:30 p.m.
Thank you, Alderwoman Megan Armstrong Garcia. With that, we'll move on to item 6.8, the Downtown Project Management Team and Communications Commission. Again, that would be Alderman Beazer. I know there was, they did have a meeting. It was a week ago. June 10th. So we'll have more of a detailed update next month. Alderman Beazer is here. With that, we'll move on to item 6.9, Delbrook Golf Commission. Alderman Squire.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Delaware Golf Commission met June 3rd. Everyone seems to be adjusting to the new commission and things are starting to move forward. The pavilion roof was damaged and an insurance claim has been filed, and it seems to be the irrigation system is moving forward and has been moved from 26 to 25 capital gains. The barrier net is set to be repaired in July. We're still one member down since no member house decided not to come back. Our next meeting is July 1st at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Alderman Squire. Item 6.10, Tourism Commission, Alderwoman South.
Thank you, Mayor. The Tourism Commission met last night. Our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, July 8th at 5 p.m. We're getting ready for a wrap-up weekend. The chamber is, so make sure to put that on your calendar for July.
Thank you, Alderwoman South. Item number 7, Planning Commission issues. 7.1 is consider a request for a conditional use permit at 910 East Geneva Street, tax parcels XAS 00041 and XAS 0051, the former Lutheran Memorial Church, to allow for an indoor institutional land use within the business local BL zone district. Applicant, the River Church.
I move to approve the proposed resolution, including the conditional use findings listed in the report and the conditional use request for an indoor institutional land use located at 910 East Geneva Street in the business local zoning district, subject to findings and conditions of approval listed in the report.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Nice to see the building get used.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.2 is consider a request to amend an existing group development conditional use permit at 217 South 7th Street, tax parcel XP 00189 to allow for an indoor commercial entertainment land use in Unit C within the Business Central BC zoning district. Applicant Delavan Facility.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposed resolution, including the conditional use findings listed in the report and the conditional use request for major indoor commercial entertainment located at 217 South 7th Street in the Business Central zoning district, subject to the findings and conditions of approval listed in the report.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.3 is consider a request for a conditional use permit at 404 West Walworth Avenue and 116 Walnut Street, tax parcel XWUP 00115A to allow for a group development land use and construction of a parking lot within the institutional and residential single-family RS3 zoning district. Applicant FWF Construction.
I move to approve the proposed resolution, including conditional use findings as listed in the report and the conditional use request for a group development and construction of a parking lot at 404 West Walworth Avenue and 116 Walnut Street within the residential single-family 3 RS3 and institutional I zoning districts, subject to the conditions of approval as listed in the report.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.4 is consider a planned infill development for a step 4 precise implementation plan at 1616 Hobbs Drive, tax parcel XCBB3 00005, located in the manufacturing light ML zoning district to allow for a group development residential apartment complex. Applicant Toronto Builders.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposed resolution allowing the proposed land uses at 1616 Hobbs Drive, subject to the requirements of the submitted application, subject to the requirements of the general development plan, PID zoning, and the general city of Delavan zoning ordinance, and subject to the conditions as listed in the report and identified by city staff and planning commission.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.5 is consider a planned infill development amendment to the step 4 precise implementation plan for a portion of the Harbor Club at Lake Lawn subdivision at 2800 East Geneva Street for the amended eastern portion of the replatted area in manufacturing light ML zoning district with a shoreland protection overlay. Applicant Brian.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion, we table this to review and fine tune the agreement based on the comments.
So, just for clarification, on this one, you weren't asking, it was 10.2. Yeah, potentially to table that one, so just.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, just wanted to be
Clear
clear.
stop for a minute.
So anyone care to make a motion based?
I move to approve the proposed resolution and land uses at 2800 East Geneva Street for the amended eastern portion of the replatted area, subject to the requirements of the submitted application, subject to the requirements of the general development plan, PID zoning, and the general city of Delavan zoning ordinance, and subject to the conditions as listed in the report and identified by city staff and the plan commission.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.6 is consider a request for a 2-unit land redivision by condominium plat for the duplex property at 313-315 Linden Lane.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposed two-unit land redivision by condominium plat as presented for the duplex property at 313 to 315 Linden Lane.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.7 is consider a request for a two-unit land redivision by condominium plat for the duplex property at 309-311 Linden Lane.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposed two-unit land redivision by condominium plat as presented for the duplex property at 309-311 Linden Lane.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.8 is consider a request for a two-unit land redivision by condominium plat for the duplex property at 306-308 Betzer Road.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposed two-unit land redivision by condominium plat as presented for the duplex property at 306-308 Betzer Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.9 is consider a request for a two-unit land redivision by condominium plat for the duplex property at 222-224 Betzer Road.
Mayor, I move to approve the proposed two-unit land redivision by condominium plat as presented for the duplex property at 222 to 224 Betzer Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.10 is consider a request for a two-unit land redivision by condominium plat for the duplex property at 216-218 Besser Road.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposed two-unit land redivision by condominium plat as presented for the duplex property at 216 to 218 Betzer Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 8, issues before the Finance Committee. 8.1 is consider a facade grant application for Estacada Unisex Common at 130 East Walworth Avenue.
I move to approve a facade improvement grant in an amount not to exceed $3,010 for Maria del Carmen Bueno for repairs and improvements to the facade of 103 East Walworth Avenue, provided that the plans comply with all city ordinances and downtown design standards.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman Sen.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderwoman Barbosa.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.2 is consider the purchase and installation for the replacement of the playground at Lauterbach Park from Lee Recreation for a price of $96,173.
I move to approve the purchase for playground proposal option 2 from Lee Recreation for an amount of $96,173.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman Sen.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderwoman Barbosa.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.3 is consider authorizing payment for the fire department radio purchase.
Move to approve the payment of $230,294.16 to GenCom for the fire department radio purchase.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderwoman Sen.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderwoman Barbosa.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.4 is consider authorizing purchase of watertronics, irrigation, station pumps, and control station.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposal from Watertronics for a total cost of $226,347.75 with a 50% down payment of $113,173.88 to be made in 2024 from the donated Nelson funds.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderwoman Barbosa.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman South.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.5 is consider parking lot paving at 416 East Walworth Avenue.
Make a motion, we table this.
Motions.
We think we're
Yeah,
gonna table
yeah,
this,
we're gonna-
correct?
Yeah, we talked about it in finance, so, taking no action.
Right.
At this time, so we table it, so. Yeah, there's a motion to table this item, is there a second? Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to table this item, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item 8.6 is approval of the bills for warrant 2024-05. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item number 9, issues before the General Operations Committee. 9.1 is consider renewal liquor license applications for 2024-2025.
Mayor, I move to approve the renewal of liquor licenses, subject to the confirmation that the applicants are in compliance with the city codes, are not indebted to wholesalers, and any outstanding city invoices and taxes have been paid.
There's a motion, is there a second? There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item number 10, other business. 10.1 is review the 2023 compliance and maintenance annual report and consider resolution approving report.
I move to approve the resolution approving the 2023 compliance maintenance annual report.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item 10.2 is consider amendment number 1 to the Harbor Club at Lakeland Developers Agreement.
I motion we table this to the next meeting.
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item 10.3 is consider a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute closing documents for the purchase of property on Ian Street.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the proposed resolution authorizing the mayor to execute closing documents for the purchase of 919 Ann Street.
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item number 11, public comments. Again, citizens at this time who wish to address the chair. At this point of the meeting, I just ask that you limit your comments to no more than 2 minutes. Anyone wish to make comments? All I would ask is you state your name and address for the record.
I'm Wayne Osborne, 118 Eagle Point, Unit C, and I'm here representing the Delavan Durham Public Library Foundation. This is an appropriate time for public comments because my comment is on future agenda items, which is next on your agenda. As you know, the city is in the process of a project to greatly expand Durham Public Library. After 2.5 years of work, there's been a lot of accomplishments The architectural plans have been completed by the architectural firm of FEH, and if you're interested, we have them. We've done a number of fundraising things through our foundation, and as of yesterday, we have $1,256,950.89 unaudited in our accounts of the foundation. And that doesn't include the $115,000 grant that the city just received, thanks to my grant writers on our foundation, since that's a city monies. The cost of the project is $11.2 million as costed out by the architects. And there is a slight inflation factor built into that should be good through the end of the year. As I understand it, the next step is acceptance and approval by the city through the finance committee and then the council here to move forward. The financing, I believe, is largely in place. There was a press release several years ago about a USDA loan that would underwrite that. We have done well on the fundraising. There are some grant applications out there. This is a bit of an urgency here because my donors are getting antsy. You know, I donated to this 2 years ago and I haven't seen anything happen. What I have found in working with our larger donor actually, is that they're paying on a series of installments. And part of the contract says, in the event the library shall not complete the intended improvements within 3 years of the execution hereof, that's, I'll go back, the 7th of July, 2022, so I mean the 2025, the donor may declare this agreement null and void, and at their option shall be entitled to return on all gifts made pursuant to this agreement. So that puts me in a little bit of a tough spot. If we drag our feet on this, then we're not going to complete this project. In fact, if we drag it too much, we're not even going to start it. So I'm going to strongly urge the city finance committee and the council to move forward as soon as possible on the RFP process. I'm not an expert in this, I'm a volunteer, but I don't think that's a no cost moving forward. I don't think you have to put money down, or much money down, to get the call for proposals out there and start getting the things lined up to move this project forward. That's my comments.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wish to make public comments at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to item number 12, suggested future agenda items. Are there suggested future agenda items at this time? There aren't at this time necessarily. As I always say, please let myself know, the city clerk know, the city administrator, and we're happy to put those on an agenda for discussion. With that, we'll move on to item number 13, which is recess to close session. 13.1 is pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 parent 1 parent E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. Regarding consider offer to purchase city-owned property on the northwest corner of East Wisconsin and North Harrison Street.
Mr. Mayor, I move to recess to close session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 parent 1 parent E.
There's a motion to go to closed session. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, maybe we have a roll call.
Alderwoman Barbosa.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman Sapp.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes. Motion passes and we'll take a short little recess and we're going to closed session.